Hi, welcome to Bryant Systems. It's a brilliant day. This is my 500th video today. 500 videos. That's how committed I've been to spreading the word, the good word of health, fitness, diet, lifestyle, movement, c.h.e.k practitioners, personal trainers around the world. So this is the next book, which I said in the last video, which is Tang Do So Jeet Kune by Bruce Lee. There you go, there's the book. Okay, with the book, he's talking about no fixed positions, which I love. Now, I come from a background of being a bit of a fighter at school and being a bit of a warrior going through life. And I believe that there's no fixed format into any martial art. If you look at the cage fighters or MMA, you look at them guys, they've all got their certain techniques, but they're all fighting in a certain way, but there's no real fixed positions. They're doing what comes into their head at that instant of when they need to use it. So I believe that a martial art is good for discipline, like jiu-jitsu, judo, karate, aikido, which I done for a year and a half, which I loved, and I may go back to. The reason why a martial art is really good, especially when you're growing up, is one, it teaches you self-defense. Two, it teaches you self-respect and respect of other people. Then it gives you confidence as well in your ability. But the thing that I found with Aikido and the martial arts that I done boxing with people every week when I lived in Essex. I done Aikido, then I was going to the gym every week as well. So I was weightlifting, martial arting, street fighting, fighting in life, doing all these things in my life. And I realised that it wasn't until I got older that I realised that there's no fixed position in anything. You're always going to have ups and downs in life. And in mastery, you have ups and downs too. So you've just got to go, there's something come through the door, you just got to go your own way. But the good thing about Jeet Kune is that it's another fighting system that works. I love the book, it's a really good read. You know, Bruce Lee was a master of his own, in his own right. In my opinion, from today's knowledge, he did overtrain a bit, but obviously he had that wicked physique and he was super fast, but addicted to opium, or so they say. So I would really recommend you get this book if you want to look into an alternative way of martial arts. It's easy to read, it's very large print, it's not full of jargon, which I like. It's just really, really good, and he's covering, you know, kicking, striking, footwork, all this type of stuff can be important. But I've seen, I was a doorman, I don't know if you've known this, but I was a doorman for 15 years, or 12 years, sorry, in like the West End. I've been a trainer for 15 years, I'm getting confused. And I realised you got to face your fears when you're on the door, and you got to learn how to react in the best way that you know how. So I used to get people in choke out holds. I used to get people where I used to just grab their arm and walk them out and lock their arm up. There was one instance where I just had to lash out because the guy lashed at me. So in that sort of world, when you get people just attacking you, even if you're just talking to them and keeping your hands up, people will attack you because they've got alcohol inside their system and their ego's going, this guy's bigger than me, I want to take him because he's a doorman and he thinks he's hard. So this book is good for that because it teaches you to react. It's really important for you to react at the moment, if that makes sense. You can't always you know, do that movement to everybody. You might have to do that movement to somebody else. You might have to do that movement to somebody else. And if you look at in boxing, when they're in the ring, if you look at in boxing, yeah, they're doing the footwork, but they're throwing everything that they can at all different directions. There's no fixed positions. And that's the thing that Bruce Lee had the argument with the martial arts in that day, you know, in the 60s and the early 70s. And what you got to remember is that martial arts in that time was hidden, was a secret. Tai Chi was a secret. Qigong was a secret. The Westerners wasn't meant to know that. And remember that the Japanese and the Chinese are more disciplined than us. They seem to look at everything as an art form. I look at things in an art form now, like my training is an art form. When I go and train, I'm pushing myself to the maximum at 44 years old and trying to get the max out of my website, out of my training, sorry, not my website, and to get the best out of me. And the only way you can get the best out of you is by checking yourself, having time with yourself, understanding yourself at a deeper level. So I know that Bruce Lee was quite a spiritual guy, even though he was quite yang and liked to fight a lot. But he was a family man as well. You know, his son's dead too. His son done a brilliant movie called The Crow and died on The Crow, which is a bit woo-woo-y, you know. But it was really, really interesting to read his book. And look, he's got the yin and yang sign there at the bottom of the book, and the yin and yang sign, which is a Chinese sign, which is all about balance. So if you haven't got this book, it's a must buy for anybody that's into martial arts and wants to know more about how to fight better. But the way that I look at life now is that you need to look at yourself and go, why do I need to fight in the first place? Am I too yang? Is it my personality winding people up? And I wind a lot of people up. I don't mean to do it, it's just the way that I come across. Some people don't understand me, some people do. So it's really, really important that you look at Tao Of Jeet, in which to help you to look at the way that you fight. Remember, the strongest way to fight is not to fight. The best way to defeat your opponent is with your words. And that was something I was never good at. I was really good with my fists, but never good with my words. But now I've become much better at my words, or I just avoid confrontation, because I've done that for years and years, and you know, I've lost friends through fighting and stuff like that, and I believe it's not the way to go anymore. But some people do wind you up, and some people will push you to your ultimate limit, and the stronger person in you should be able to walk away and go, well, you can have your opinion, I'll have my opinion. If somebody comes with you with violence, defend yourself, because that's your right, but try and get away from that when that's happening. So, for instance, if you see a big group of guys arguing and fighting, don't get involved, walk away. Yeah, but your ego wants you to get involved, but try and walk away. Try and be the pacifier of what's going on. Okay, I'm Scott Bryant of Active Bryant Systems. That was book number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 favourite books. I've got another favourite book which I'm going to talk about, which this is before I got into the C.h.e.k stuff, which is by Ian King, is it? Yeah, Ian J. King, Australian guy, getting buffed. So his books are good. Good program design, but I'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, thanks very much. I'm Scott Bryant of Active Bryant Systems. Subscribe and like at the bottom. Don't go out fighting, but keep your movements going. You know, get in the gym, be a warrior in the gym and in your life, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.